All right, September 15th. It rained about 4 inches today here in Ketchikan, so summer is totally over. Pretty brutal in May and June, but July was pretty nice, and August was really nice.
And the first half of September was really nice.
First half of September was really, really nice. Pretty ironic, though. Like, for as good as the weather was, whatnot, it can make it tough when it's really hot and sunny, but we have zero meat in the freezer from hunting.
Yeah.
So that's a first, but there's also been other firsts. Had Jaden and his brother, Tyler. It was a lot of fun taking them out. Not guided, obviously, but... and then you had a friend down. She's from Petersburg.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of had firsts with that. You took the skiff out, took the bikes out, and
got in over our heads.
Do you think you were over your head?
I think we were scared to shoot a deer because we didn't know if we could get it out. In retrospect, like, obviously we could have gotten it out, but it
just takes time. I think that's the biggest thing that I had. Like, you feeling like you had to do everything unbroken, like you couldn't take breaks, like you had to get out as fast as possible. But you can shuttle if you need to. You can take time if you need to.
Shuttling would have been so bad. It's like 90 degrees just up.
Yeah, there's a couple spots of that mountain that are just brutal.
Yeah.
But.
Our big problem was that the best deer we saw, the best opportunity we had, it was we got up and we immediately saw it. And like literally my friend said, she was like, I don't want to deal with the deer right now. So we didn't make a move on it, and we just set up camp because we thought, we have a couple days, we'll see something else.
That was the evening you got up there?
Literally within an hour of getting up there.
Oh, jeez. So when did you leave? Because you took that was the first time, like, you've driven the skiff before, but that was the first time that you like took it up by yourself.
Yep.
Docked it, had the e-bikes on there, which was pretty sweet. You were pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
And then how long did it take you to get up to the top of the mountain?
Oh, too long.
The bike was 6 miles, and then it was like 3-4 mile hike.
Yeah.
But you said that people hadn't been up there, so there was no even path really created.
Well, yeah. So I don't think anyone had been up the way we went up, but on day 2 when we were up there, we saw other people up there, up kind of far from us, so it wasn't a big deal, but I think they must have hiked in a different way that I wasn't aware of. So now, I don't know, my whole confidence on that spot is kind of shot. Which
is weird because we had luck the first time we went up there. And then Ryan was it 3 of us or just Ryan and I?
Just you and Ryan.
Just Ryan and I went up there and didn't see anything. Went up there with like bicycles. And then the 3 of us went up. Didn't get anything.
Did we all 3 go up?
Yeah. That was
when we saw literally nothing?
September-y. We saw like a little spike or something like that. Or maybe we're kind of half going for mountain goat. Maybe that was mountain goat because Ryan had packed for us or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so the first time we went up there, tons of deer everywhere. And we hit the weather right because it was kind of rainy as we went up. And then we hit the weather break. So around noon o'clock, weather broke, deer everywhere, and we were just there for the pop. So we haven't timed it weather-wise quite as good. But yeah, I have not seen much in the way of deer up there since. Got a mountain goat up there, which was pretty awesome. But even we walked around the bowl to get to that mountain goat, and we only saw some kind of marginal deer. It's really good habitat, so I'm sure there's a lot of big ones up there, but it's kind of weird to love a spot so much and still just not really have great consistent luck.
It's just a beautiful spot. I mean, even not getting a deer up there, I mean, Laura and I had a great time. It was beautiful. It was hardly, there were some bugs. Okay. It wasn't like so great, but it was pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you learn things about stalking, about where deer are, and like you can have a stockpile of memories and tactics and lessons learned, but then sometimes things are just different enough up there that you're like, man, I should have done this, and it kind of makes sense, but I didn't think of it at the time, and that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
But you're pretty happy though when you came back. You guys were got a little chunky on the skiff ride home, it looked like, but it seems like you had a lot of fun, and it was a cool confidence builder.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd definitely go hunting with Laura again.
Yeah. And then shortly thereafter, did I go out hunting after that? No, I don't think so. I think we went out fishing a couple times, and I went to the lot. We did some building, and then we're doing some fly fishing stuff, which is pretty fun to get that. I haven't done fly fishing from the skiff for salmon So that was a lot of fun to get another first. So that was super cool to kind of get that, not dialed in, I would say, but good enough. And I'm pretty excited for next summer. But everything was kind of tilted towards the moose hunt, which is a first. Never been on a moose hunt before, so that was pretty fun. Just got back from that, so just kind of tired and just kind of, I guess, processing everything. Got flown in. Day one, didn't see anything. We flew in like there was over this camp that was a couple miles away, and it was divided from where we were at by a river, and the water was up, and so we didn't think they could get over in a little side by side. Because when I think of side by sides, I think of like not glorified golf carts, but those sort of like ranch vehicle that kind of gets you around. And they had like the souped up version of that, but you also have like those razors that are side by sides. Like those are like full on sport, a very aggressive thing. So they didn't have the aggressive ones. And so we figured they'd be on that side. We'd be on our side where the landing strip was, and it'd be fine. And first day, nothing. We heard a gunshot, and then we started looking over in their direction. We saw a pretty nice sized bull. So we weren't sure if they shot a different bull or if they like couldn't see the one. There were two shots. We figured it was like a first shot and the second one wounded it, or the second one put it down. But then we saw that other one. So I don't know, maybe they had called in too, or what happened there. Then the next day we saw a bull at about 800 yards and tried to wait to see where it would bed. We just saw it kind of disappear into this little texture. So we decided to kind of make our way over there, but we figured if it was still up, it'd be moving down the river where it kind of flattened out. And so we kind of took our time going down the river or upriver, but in the river bottom area, and didn't see anything. So we figured it was still there. And then like took us like 5 hours, not because it was rough terrain, but we didn't want to like just run in there crazy. So we're just going to make it our way over. We wanted to be patient because if the thing had bedded, it might wake up and start feeding again, or get up and start feeding again, or maybe it wouldn't get up until 7 o'clock. We weren't sure, but we just kind of got to the point where it was maybe a little impatience, but also let's just see if it's in there and see if it's, and we thought it had kind of fed into the willows, but where we saw it and thought it dipped down into some texture, it was actually bedded. And so we walked up and it was like 20 yards from us.
Yeah.
And when we glassed it, we hadn't been able to see if it was 4 brow tines. One side had 3 and it looked pretty massive. So we were pretty sure it was over 50, but also not field judging moose. It's hard to tell. Like they all look so massive, especially compared to like blacktail deer. So we didn't want to just start shooting. So it stands up and I got a good quartering shot, but I can't see that other side. So I don't know if it's 4 brow tines, and obviously can't see if it's 50. So it ends up kind of getting away, never end up seeing the other side of it. Next day I call in a bull. Super exciting to see the antlers behind these willows. And then it's broadside to me and it just kind of like, meh. It's kind of like an elk something, or, or a deer or something. And it just turns its head so I can count the brow tines, and it's still standing broadside, but it's a 3 and a 2, and couldn't tell if it was 50. I figured it was definitely short, but so that was awesome. And then we just didn't see another one close again, and just kind of got away from us. And super fun though, beautiful range. So Ryan was a champ. He pretty much just kind of stayed around camp while I sat up in the calling spot and kept feeding the fire to keep the heat in there, keep the moisture down, kind of dry stuff out, because we'd had a bunch of rain at night, and the inside condensation would drip down on us when the raindrops would hit, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. But so how similar is moose hunting to like rut blacktail hunting?
Not
at all. But you're calling. And
yeah, I think.
Like, what is it like?
You just stand. I guess it's similar in that you get to a spot where you pay attention to the wind. You get to a spot where you think something can hear, and there's always the chance you second guess what your tactic is. You second guess, what should I be like? I was raking and I was cow calling, and I'm not like in the exact same spot. Kind of like turn my head to go to the other side of of a tree, but you think, all right, am I calling too much? Should I be rattling? Should I be, grunting like with black-tailed deer? Like, should I be rattling? Should I be grunting? What type of call? How loud should it be? So you really start second guessing things. But the fact that I called one in the first day and then didn't call one in after that made me think, okay, is there just not a lot of moose around?
Yeah.
Or did I just get lucky? Like, was it the raking? Was it the cow calling? Who knows? You really start second guessing yourself. So in that way, it's definitely the same. You have success. You think this is what to do. And then if you don't, but as Ron and I talked about, you go to a muskeg and you call and a deer doesn't come in, there might not have been a deer there. There's not a deer in every muskeg. You kind of plan and think that there is. Like, you have to have that mentality that there is a deer here and I'm going to get it to stand up, flick its ears, walk out, something. But with moose, the area's a little bigger. It's super wide open, so you can see a lot more of the terrain. So black-tailed deer, like, you're blind. You're just at this muskeg and you're thinking it's going to come out, whereas we were able to glass moose for the most part. And then there are just these kind of strips of timber where they can be. And so you're hoping that in this larger section of a strip that there is something, but you can glass so much more than you can down here. Like, you can't like glass down here during
that's
rut.
true.
So there are some similarities. The sounds coming in are way different because it's a moose, but
just crashing.
It was crazy how quiet they were. It was similar to kind of elk in that they just kind of come in maybe tentatively. You hear the stories about come crashing in with their eyes rolled back, and it wasn't peak rut. It was a little bit early.
Okay. Yeah, my one encounter with moose was when we were camping in a tent at night, and we heard them come in.
Yeah.
They must have fought 20 yards from our tent.
Oh, it's terrifying. Yeah, it was in Wyoming. We were elk hunting, and
so
they
were loud then, but
wild. Yeah, because they were super aggressive as during rut, and so they were battling, and that was kind of the raking thing. It was.
Yeah, I think they raked on a tree over our tent.
Yeah, it was like I'm challenging you, and that was.
Yeah, it probably sounded closer than it was, but
I did remember, and I talked to Ryan about this when we were out there, that there's that Meat Eater episode where Steve starts to rake and he's trying to elicit curiosity, but he elicits terror because it's a pretty small bull. And by raking like he did, the small bull is like, I'm out of here. And then there was a cow with it. So there's always that possibility. And the same thing I feel like when I'm rattling, if I'm rattling with a large set of antlers, is the deer that's around going to be intimidated by such a crazy heavy sound? Like, oh, that sounds like two really big bucks. I better get out of here.
You only shoot big bucks anyways.
Yeah, right. I don't shoot bucks at all anyway, really, it seems like anymore. But it was fun, different terrain, super, super cool to fly in and just have that whole experience. And then got stuck for a day. Then coming out, the plane landed and he was going to take us out one by one, even though we didn't have a moose. He said it would be safer. And I thought, whoa, because pilots usually don't divulge.
Did he drop you off together?
Yeah, dropped us off together.
Okay.
When I was messaging him back, I said, there's a little bit of mud on the edges because 3 days of rain had softened up this trail. This strip has a four-wheeler trail that kind of goes down the middle, so that's really packed down and solid. So the wheels of the 185 can kind of land on that and stay on that, but he got off to the side a little bit as he was trying to spin the plane, and one of the tires just sank in the mud, and the other one kind of got in it, but we had to rock it back and forth, and took all three of us, everything we had, just to get the tire out of the mud. So when he came back in, he came back in and he avoided that muddy spot, and I'd put some rocks in there while he took Ryan out. I put some rocks in those spots, so in case the tire went in the mud again, it wouldn't sink, because there would be no hope for two of us being able to get it unstuck.
You have to go get those guys with the Argo.
Yeah, try to get them out, try to get the hells out. So we got, he actually went further up the trail to another spot where you could kind of turn around, or at least was good enough to turn around. And so as we were taxiing, he said, I'm going to get a running start, and then I'll sprint, gas it. So we're going down. So he has this kind of running start, and the willows on the edges are just below the wing. It's just tall enough where they're not hitting the wing. And so we're going, and then he just floors it and then kind of bounce a little bit and then take off. But felt safe, like the guy knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. He lands on glaciers and stuff like that. Those bush pilots know what they're doing. So,
Have you ever bounced in a plane before like that?
No.
But we usually are on floats. We're not on wheels.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just kind of what kind of happens a little bit on the uneven terrain. That's kind of what you expect. But, so yeah, it was cool. Definitely a good experience. I absolutely want to do it again. It's just one of those things that's different than what you're used to. And I'd like to go again for sure. But yeah, it costs money and it's time away.
Yeah.
Moose hunting is always tough because the season's usually September, and that's right when school's getting started. So it's tough to be away from the students right off the bat. But
and your family.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm just joking. I know.
So yeah, that's about what's going on. Haley's turning 1.
Yeah, 3 days. It's crazy. She's a active little kid.
Yeah, it's been kind of what I expected, also not what I expected, which is kind of about what I expected.
Yeah, I think she's definitely becoming a tyrant. Like they say those toddlers are tough, and I don't know if I'm ready for it, but she is demanding.
Yeah, and I don't even know what you do.
You just give them what you want.
I just don't want to start down the road of the bad habits. You have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, but if we get her oh, here's a screen and here's sugar, then we're screwed.
No,
and she's screwed for the rest of her life.
But she wants the car keys and my wallet, and I'm like, okay, fine.
And she has so many other toys. Why are those?
But it's so clear she just will go over to it and
yeah,
and then look expectantly at you.
Yeah, she'll want to be picked up, so you pick her up.
Then she leans over.
Yeah, and then you put her down, and she walks around a little bit, and then she wants to be picked up again, which is fine. But yeah, I was thinking a lot more of that in that book Outlive that we've been reading and listening to. He talks about if you want to be able to pick up kid when you're 80, you have to be able to pick up more than just a kid at 60 because you're going to lose your muscle mass, you're going to lose your strength, you lose your balance and everything like that. So if you're just par for the course at 50 or 60 and you can do it, just by the nature of getting older, you're not going to be able to do that probably. Same thing with just things that you like to do. If you can hike a mountain right now, that's great. But unless you improve, unless you get to almost turn back the clock by being really, really in shape, just the natural progression of things is you're not going to be able to do those things in 15, 20 years.
Yeah, he talks about you want to be top 2% for your age, and then if you are, you want to look at a decade younger, top 2%.
Yeah. Which I think it's a great way of, it makes a lot of sense. I've thought about, I can do this. I just want to be able to maintain and keep doing this, but you kind of have to be turn back the clock athletically. It's just I was almost no other choice than to be an athlete. Yeah. If you want to be able to do the stuff you want to do when you get older, and that getting out of shape and then back into shape, or out of shape and back into shape, and it's not
fair when you have babies. You get way out of shape.
Can't do that. Yeah. Well, you killed a deer a month after.
I know, but I was still way out of shape.
That's different because all of your abdominal muscles.
No, I know it is different. There's a recovery period, but it makes it hard. It's really hard. I'm still not in as good of shape as I was.
Yeah, I think too. It's hard with the schedule because we don't really have afternoons to just hang out. We would go on walks, but walks is a lot more of a basic zone 1, get the steps rather than really get you in athletic shape. So just trying to work out when you can But,
well, and I used to work out in the mornings a lot, but now, it takes more time, and if she wakes up early, then...
Yeah.
So... But it's all good. I'm excited to get her out camping on our lot.
Yeah, it'll be tough with the stove. I'm worried about the logistical things, and then also with if it is raining, which we probably won't go out if it's raining, but just the amount of condensation on the inside, and then the rain on the tent that then drops the condensation. You get condensation in tents just no matter.
Did you take the liner?
Didn't take the liner, which is pretty stupid, because then I started thinking about I'd need the liner, but then I'd need the fire pad.
Yeah.
And so things started to kind of add up, and I thought, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this in my pack. And I was already 7 pounds over my check bag because of the 7-pound cot. 7 pounds. It's nice though. It's not I go on the.
Is it nicer than our big fat pad though?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not. But it's so nice to be up off the ground. We're on the right next to the strip, and so it was super muddy. So to have like the ground sheet down and then be up off that was was super nice. You kind of tuck stuff underneath, and it was pretty comfortable. But
yeah, I don't know. It's gonna rain forever though. We'll see if we get a break.
Yeah, it's a one Tigris Supra Gris camping cot.
Is that just like the cheapest thing you can get on Amazon?
No, $87. $87 on that. It supports up to 400 pounds. It feels pretty sturdy. It's got a little side pocket and stuff too. The one thing that was a problem, there's 3 spots that the braces go underneath. And if you kind of sit in between the 2 braces, the support rods on the edges or on the sides will separate, but the middle is strong enough to where when the outer separates, that middle thing still holds, which is good. It's got the elastic thing in the middle there.
So it didn't collapse on you.
Did not collapse, but as soon as those weak points get exposed in some of the cheaper stuff, it just automatically just blows up or breaks. And so the fact that the rods had separated a little bit, and it was just dependent upon that inner rod thing that's the connector. Like it didn't break, which was nice, but it did keep coming loose because I was sitting in between the supports. But so yeah, I don't know if I would recommend it, but it's not bad. I don't regret having one. I don't know if I'd get another one. Probably maybe get something that's a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
But yes, that was fine. The Helionics, we have those chairs. Those camping chairs are nice and they're light, but the Helionics cot is super expensive. So I don't know if that'd be worth it. What was worth it was awesome was the Silky Pocket Boy folding saw. That thing is awesome. And
it's Silky Pocket Boy?
Yeah, Professional Series Pocket Boy. It's a small folding saw. And like it would just go through. We were cutting up small dead black spruce that were a couple inches in diameter. Ryan's it's a larger
same brand.
Same brand. I'm not sure how much bigger it is, but he doesn't. I asked him how often he had. I think it's this one. It's a folding saw that's. Anyway, it's bigger. And I asked him how often he had changed the blade, and he said no. He's had it like 3 years, and he uses it a lot, which made me think, man, the fact that the Gerber replaceable saws come with replaceable blades.
Yeah, it's not great.
Which like your Havalon and your Gerber knives come with replaceable blades because they're super, super sharp, but you just kind of know it's going to be disposable. But those saws are super annoying if you're cutting up one skull cap or 2. It's terrible. This thing is
my friend had a bone saw. I think it was from Alaska Knife Works or something is what they're called. And that thing was, I mean, I probably shouldn't have used it on wood, but it was awesome. Like,
yeah, it's amazing to have a nice saw. So I'm really excited about that for clearing brush, being out at the lot and whatnot. And then also for a nice skull cap, but you can get like huge ones. Some of these, like the Katana Boy is a $479.
How long is it?
But it's a monster. What is this here? 27.5 inches.
Wow, yeah, that is long.
That's a monster. Yeah.
Over 2 feet.
Yeah. This beefy 2-handed folding saw is Silky's answer to the man-powered chainsaw.
Well, nice. I don't know about that.
Yeah. But they cut great. It is nice to not have to worry about batteries, and then also pretty nimble. And sometimes with brush, like the smaller diameter brush, you don't want to cut it with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to just like with one, you just grab onto the stem and just one swipe and it's cut. So it's super, super nice and easy. Yeah. But And then, of course, it's a lot lighter than carrying a chainsaw or whatever. But
yeah,
so that was pretty sweet. I like that piece of gear and whatever else. What else was new that I took in there? I think that was it.
Cool.
The saw was awesome.
Did you take any new food or anything? Just standard?
No, standard
You had
stuff.
plenty of extra for your extra day. Did you plan for an extra day?
I planned right off for being there through Saturday.
Okay.
Not because I thought there was an extra day, but just, I figured that if we were hauling moose, there might be a day that I want maybe a breakfast, lunch, and dinner and just have one of those like 6,000, 8,000 calorie days. End up having a peak for breakfast and a peak for dinner, and then more like a snack type lunch. We had bars and we had mix and things like that. But I had a couple extra for 3 of the day just in case it was we were hauling really heavy stuff, which we ended up not doing, but we ended up not being able to get out on time. So just used it for that extra day. I think that's about it. So we'll see. Hopefully get into some blacktail deer this month and next month. Excited to keep going high into the Alpine into October. It's kind of a new thing, but it's nice to get up there. There's fewer people.
Yeah.
Bucks are hard-horned. Yeah, just a whole different, like no bugs, just different colors, different experience. So it takes longer to get up there, and so it's a long day hunt, but it's pretty fun.
But stuff is like out all day, so it's because in the summer it's too hot. You kind of have to stay the night.
Yeah. So looking forward to that, and then we got some halibut, so at least we have halibut in the freezer. But yeah. So anything else? No. Did you have any new gear that you used?
I mean, the Grail water bottle I really like. It's like the press filter in the water bottle. So that's kind of new, but I think that's kind of it.
Yeah. We have a gravity water filter too, and because of the little tripod thing that you made to support the beam that you used to flesh the old deer hide, got the idea to use that to hold the gravity water filter in the tent, so we didn't have to go outside on the tree. But we just used that one as, so it was a 10 liter. We attached the hose and then like just the top part of the hose that would go above the filter because the filter was clogged and it wasn't filtering very fast. So we just used that top part of the hose to put water into the jet boil to boil it for food or for breakfast or for whatever. So it was super cool to have that hanging in the tent, so we didn't have to go outside when it was rainy. And then Ryan treated 6 liters. So we had the treated 6 liters and then the 4 boil 10 liters in there. So it was a wake up, get the water going, boom, right there. It adds a lot more humidity to the inside of the tent when you're boiling the water in there, especially when you have to boil it for a minute.
Yeah.
But if you have the fire going and you get some good ventilation, then it kind of dissipates a little bit. But
yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, it was fun. It was good to, like, when you have all the gear that you need to be pretty prepared and feel good about it. Oh, my wool hoodie was awesome. Like full on wool, not like merino wool, like 80% wool. And so it was nice being out when there was a little bit of rain to be able to have that hood on and be warm, but also be able to hear. Because if you put your rain jacket hood up, you just can't hear anything. You hear that pat, 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 pat. So the wool hoodie can get wet and still maintain its insulating properties, which was awesome. So I really liked having that there. I wore it every day. But yeah, so that's it.